All right, so y'all already know that I am not the type of, clickbait kind of girl. But so when you see something in my thumbnail, you know that I mean that shit. Bitch, this was the best episode of the entire season. Like, period. One of the best episodes of TV I've seen. Like, let's be honest. All right, y'all. So sorry in advance. I already know my voice sounds a little weird. It was Pride. It was Pride weekend here in Atlanta. I really did a lot. I did a lot, but of course I could not miss this. I could not miss it. I could not miss it. I had to do what I had to do. Let's talk. Let's just fucking talk. I'm not even fucking playing with y'all. Like let's go. Let's go. Vayman is already approaching Rainey's. Like I said, remember in the fucking, hopefully I'm not talking too loud, y'all. I'm so excited, y'all. Like, okay. So Vayman's already like approaching Rainey's. Like I said before, he's already aiming for the Driftwood throne as we expected, right? We open up the episode with Rainey saying it's been 6 years since I saw Corliss. I don't even know what the fuck going on. Like, what's up? No one knows if he will live. His neck was slashed. He got the blood fever. It's a lot of shit going on. So, I mean, if you think that Vayman is just gonna sit here and let Driftmark get, pass to Rhaenyra's kids, but you got another thing coming. So, of course, he's coming to Rainey. He's like, what the fuck is going on? And he even appeals to Rainey. He's like, come on now, Corliss is crazy. The only thing he cares about is the history books. Let's just get into it. Let's do what we need to do. At the very least, I feel like Vayman's like, do not let our fucking seat pass to these motherfucking bastards. Like, that's what he's saying. Like, you cannot be serious. What about us? And Vayman is like, all right, like, that's fine. If you don't want to support me, I don't need your support. And I think that, I mean, obviously, we don't have to think we know. He definitely fucked up with this one. You definitely needed Rainey's support. Like, let's be real. Vayman, you obviously did not have all that fucking support and power when, child, we're not even there yet. We're not even there yet and shit is already heated up. Listen, we see Daemon go and pick up an egg at Dragonstone. He digging, and I love to see how you get the eggs. I love that. Thank y'all so much for including that. Because they're literally just digging in that shit, and he had to, he was like, he came out there, he was like 3 eggs. I was like, oh shit, now, is this what I think it is? Is this what I think it is? You talking about 3 eggs, and the fact that the show said it was 3 eggs and said it twice, it's like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? The script said it twice. You know what that means, especially you. Come on now. So they tell him something came from Baela, from Dripmar, and you can see right here, Baela's essentially warning Daemon, like, yo, Vayman is pissed. He's coming. Like, y'all petitioning on that shit right now. He's coming too. He wants the throne as well. So, I mean, I'm just happy that Daemon got that warning, or the blacks, my girls, the true heirs, you know what I mean, the side that we all should be standing on. If you have a shred of honor and decency in your spirit, Rhaenyra's side. I'm glad that Rhaenyra's side got that warning before Vayman came up there and mixed everything up. Like, there was already petitions going on as it is. So, okay, so we go on to Dragonstone, and we see, I just love to see the map table and everything, but Rhaenyra comes in. She's obviously, it's giving that she's pregnant, right? So I love here. I don't know. I think it's because I love languages in general. And, I know quite a bit of Spanish. I wish I knew some more. I wish I need to go to like a Spanish speaking country, just live there for a second. Anyway, child, see, this is how I get sidetracked. Either way, I just love seeing just languages being spoken and taught. So we're teaching Jace here High Valyrian. And, they're talking about Aegon the Conqueror. Jace is very serious about it. I love getting to see his personality. He's obviously very, he's trying to be as honorable as he can. I'm like, all right, Jace, he's learning. He's in school. He's being tutored. So here is where Daemon tells Rhaenyra the news about Vayman. Like, and she puts, like, I mean, it's not hard to put this together. If Vayman's coming up here to challenge Luke's legitimacy, he's challenging Jace's as well. I mean, the whole entire thing's gonna be fucked, right? And that's what Rhaenyra says. They talk about Rhaenys, who obviously, why would you not think that Rhaenys would not think that y'all tried to kill her? Y'all killed Laenor. Like, of course, it makes so much sense that that's what Rhaenys thinks. But Daemon thinks that this entire thing with Vayman is not Rhaenys' idea, because Rhaenys wants Baela to have the Driftwood throne, and that's why she's like round her as her ward or cupbearer, whatever you want to call her. So it's like it's probably not Rhaenys' idea. Which obviously leads to Rhaenyra being like, okay, if it's not her idea, maybe I can appeal to her. And we see that later on in the episode. Daemon and Rhaenyra arrive back in King's Landing, and you can see that the 7 is everywhere, baby. That 7-pointer star, mama. That 7-pointer star is everywhere. Rhaenyra was like, yeah, it's my home. I barely recognized this shit. We see this fucking sleaze here. I guess he got finally paid off with his annoying ass. You can see Alicent is wearing the goddamn 7, with a 7-pointed star at the council meeting here. It's just giving me very much conservative woman of God. It's giving me conservative woman of God. So we get the news here in the council meeting that the Sea Snake never formally named Luke as heir, which is interesting for all his grandstanding and, oh, you're my son and oh, blah, 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 or you're my true grandson, I'm sorry, and you're going to get the throne, da, 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 for all his grandstanding, for all his talk and all that. He never officially named Luke as heir, so that's very interesting. Another window into Corlys's personality. I love that. Lord Beesbury here. Is that how you pronounce his name? Lord Beesbury or some child of forgetful one. He acting stupid as fuck, and everybody's like, girl, get it. You can't be serious. Like, he's acting stupid as hell. What grounds could there be to question? What grounds should I get? Oh my God, why would you question? Why would you question? And they're all looking at him like, girl, you really cannot be serious right now. Like, oh, what grounds could there be, girl? Like, get out my face. Okay, so the guard comes up and tells Alicent about Aegon being a damn creep. And it's just like, at this point, it's already been developing in the plot that he's a goddamn creep. Right? So this time I don't know, did he is given very much assaulted a girl, just did something really disgusting, as we would expect from Aegon's annoying ass. And then we catch up with that later on in the episode. I get back to that, but Rhaenyra and Daemon go to see Viserys, and he's in bad shape, girl. Like, terrible. I mean, even in conversation, he's just like, he doesn't even know who he's talking to, right? So but you can see that Daemon. I just love Daemon's character. Daemon is emotional in this. When Viserys says it's been so long, you can see Daemon feels really fucking terrible. Like, Daemon will not say it. Obviously, he's not gonna. But his actions and his facial expressions and his emotions, what he chooses to do and say, like, I mean, you can tell he really loves his brother, right? But everything surrounding it is just making this relationship so much more complicated than it would have been if they weren't fucking kings and princes and shit, right? So they come to him asking him to back Luke as the heir to the Driftwood throne. And Viserys, here we get to see that he's introduced to Aegon and Viserys Targaryen. So from my understanding, it's Rhaenyra's kids, right? Like, and I think this is what would make Daemon so excited that there are 3 eggs. Please let me know if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I got from what I'm seeing here. But I know, I mean, those of you who know what happens in the books and shit, obviously Alice is gonna be pissed that Rhaenyra named her kid Aegon. Like, obviously Alice is gonna be fucking mad. And it's crazy because she's not even fucking Targaryen. She don't have no reason to be that pissed about that shit. Anyway, it's just, wow. So Miss Handmaid's Tale comes right here, rightfully freaking out about the fact that Aegon is being disgusting, right? And Miss Mamas comes in here and says she's seen no one else, Your Grace. Like, brings her into the room, brings this woman into the room, and Alicent just ups and motherfucking kills her ass. And it's like, okay, while you were over here shading Lord Larys, while you were over here, now you're really playing the game, Alicent. Now you're really playing the game. So now it's so interesting what this says about relationships between parents and children, right? Because Alicent, instead of just dealing with the fact that she did what she did, she's taking all of this shit out on her son, right? So now she's gonna fucking scream at Aegon, and of course Aegon is a creep. He's a creep. But if Alicent actually gave a fuck about that shit, she would have, child. You know what I mean? Like, you being buck right now is just because it's happening on the day when everybody's coming in to petition for this shit. Or at least that's what she's implying, right? Because she's now you're gonna scream at Aegon, oh my God. And it's like, yes, like I said, Aegon is a creep and he deserves to be dragged. He deserves to be dragged. But Alicent, you are mad because you killed somebody for, you know what I mean? Trying to cover up for behavior that you already knew was going on. So it's just like, I don't know. She slaps the fuck out of him. And see, like, Alicent slaps the shit out of her kids. I already said this before. I told y'all before. Y'all already seen it. She rough with her kids. She rough them around. She slap them up. Okay? So it's just like a cycle of fucking trauma. It's just a cycle of trauma. What the fuck you think Aegon gonna do to people who are, or who he sees as his subordinates, which is everybody in the goddamn king. You know what I mean? It's terrible. But then she says here, you are no son of mine. What do y'all think of that? What do y'all think of that? She says, you are no son of mine to him. Helena came in here talking about the Miss Handmaid's Tale who just got killed. Have you seen Diana? Diana? Girl, we have not seen her. We don't know where she at. Girl, Allison, like, girl, can you shut the fuck up? We don't know where she at. She's 6 feet under, girl. When you come in the room, ask about this bitch. Like, are you serious? So Allison goes to see Daemon and Rhaenyra, right? And so they shade each other as to be expected. And Daemon kind of says to Allison here, like, yeah, sure. I bet it is only the Maesters who are, the ones keeping Viserys just hooked to this milk of the poppy and shit while y'all are sitting on his throne. And Allison is like, he needs it. And it's true, he does need it, but it definitely is still beneficial to their fucking, plans. And Daemon then questions, like, okay, fine. Yeah, he needs it, whatever. But then you're coming over here with the 7 and all this shit. And, Allison says some bullshit like, yeah, girl, I'm holding the cross. I'm saved and sanctified, honey. Filled with the Holy Ghost. Yes, God, honey. Oh, yes, mamas. Yes, mamas. And Damon's like, girl, okay, it's another structure of power that you can use. And that's what Rhaenyra references. It's another structure of power that you can use against us, right? But Allison just really shades their ass and keeps it moving. Jace and Luke over here. And I really love Jace so much. Like, Jace is trying to be a good big brother. He's just like, it doesn't matter what they think of us. You'll be all right. It seems like he's very protective. I just really love Jace. He just seems so sweet. He really does. He really does. Christian Cole and Aemond are over here fighting. Kristen got dragged. Just want to notice. Just want y'all to notice that he got dragged. Just want y'all to, even though it's so quickly how characters change. Because bitch, Kristen was my man. Kristen Cole's my man. Now he's not. Aemond obviously wants to drag the shit out of Luke and Jace, but this is when Vaemond arrives, right? And I love the theme for this house. I just love the theme. It just sounds so. Of course, it's supposed to sound regal and beautiful, but it does. It sounds great, and it immediately when it comes out. It gives me life. And I'm sure they're going to use that if they're going to give Corlys or whatever a spinoff, right? So Vaemond talks to the Queen and the Hand. They have this little one-off meeting. I mean, and as everyone would expect, Vaemond is not trying to give Driftmark to no goddamn bastards. Like, it's just, it's just not happening. So Vaemond is making his claim here. And, implying shit like we would be in your debt, da-da-da-da-da. So basically, he's trying to get the Queen's backing, right? So, but this is when Rhaenys and Rhaenyra talk. So Rhaenyra, after, it's just like, she's like, I know what y'all are up to. I know what the Greens are up to. Like, and Rhaenyra was like, all right, but you killed Laenor. Did you not? And Rhaenyra answers the question very strategically. She says, I did not order his death, nor was I complicit in it. And it's like, yes, that's true. I do wish that Rhaenys could have received some type of just peace in this. I really do wish there was a way that Rhaenyra could have told Rhaenys that Laenor is still out there, even if it's in a subtle way. But he's just not here, right? But that did not happen. So Rhaenyra offers this. She says, back Luke's claim and then betroth your grandkids to mine. Baela will be queen of the 7 kingdoms and Rhaena will rule in Driftmark. And Rhaenys, because she's not dumb. Are you serious? Rhaenys is like, this is a generous offer or a desperate one. And then Rhaenyra says, what does it matter? And that's true. It's just like, it doesn't matter if it's desperate. It doesn't matter if it's generous. It doesn't matter if, I'm losing my shit at this point. It serves you. It would help it would solidify our houses. It makes sense, and it would get rid of this issue that we're having, right? But I love when it seems to me like she walks away from it either up in the air or just completely flat out rejects it. And I love how you can hear the storm coming in, like the thunder rolling around in the background, right? So Rhaenyra goes to her father, right? So he thought that it was Alicent at first, which is so important to keep in mind, especially considering the end of this episode. So he thought it was Alicent at first, but she's like, nah, it's Rhaenyra, what's up? She asked him this very important question, the Song of Ice and Fire, do you believe it to be true? But he doesn't really give an answer. He's kind of out of it, right? While Rhaenyra is talking, we hear her say, I thought I wanted it. It meaning the throne, it meaning the kingdom. But the burden is a heavy one. It's too heavy. And obviously we're seeing how it's eating up Viserys right now, right? So, and this is so crazy to hear Viserys say, but obvious, right? I think it's very obvious because he says this, he says, Rhaenyra, my only child. And it's just like, wow, first of all, Viserys really loves Rhaenyra, like to the ends of this earth, like completely loves Rhaenyra. But on top of that, he really sees her as as his only child. Like, he does not, that means that he's really ignoring these other kids. I feel so bad, child. I mean, not that bad because they're the Greens, no shade, but it's just like, it makes a lot of sense. It makes a lot of sense why the Greens would have so much resentment. Like, Viserys really sees Rhaenyra as his only child, and that's so important to to understanding their relationship, right? So she obviously she's crying here and asks him to defend her and also her children at this petition thing, but he seems so out of it that it's like she thinks he doesn't hear her, right? She thinks he doesn't hear her at all, and that's when she starts crying. I was like, oh my gosh, Rhaenyra, you going through it? It's bad. It was looking bad for my good sis, and that's my good sis. That's my good sis. So Viserys tells Otto, and at this point I was like, oh, Viserys gonna die in this episode. Because he tells Otto that he wants a dinner with his whole family, right? He just wants his whole family to come around so he can. Child, he knows he's about to die at this point. Otto says this. He's like, bring milk of the poppy. And I know he was pissed when Viserys refused that shit. I think he refused it in this scene, if I'm not mistaken. And I know he was fucking mad. But obviously, Viserys does not want that shit. He wants to be completely aware for this goddamn dinner party that is going to turn into a goddamn disaster. So now the petitions are starting to happen. Okay? So Sir Vaemond goes up first. And he makes his goddamn claim. Whatever. Rhaenyra, after he obviously implies that Rhaenyra's kids are bastards, Rhaenyra speaks up, tries to defend herself. I mean, mamas, everybody knows, no shade. And like I said, I'm making excuses for my fave because she's my fave, but it's just like, there's... everyone can tell, baby. Like, everyone can tell. Alicent tells her to shut the fuck up, essentially. And Vaemond, I love what he says. Almost like, I could bleed right now in front of you and you would not even recognize our blood, so don't even play in my face like that. So yeah, he finishes making his claim. Otto tells, with his annoying ass sitting in the goddamn throne, right where Otto wants to be, on the iron goddamn throne. He's so annoying, bro. So annoying. So yeah, Vaemond makes his claim and sits his ass the fuck down. Then Rhaenyra speaks up, but as soon as she does, and this is a gag of the fucking episode, Viserys comes hobbling his ass in, bitch. Viserys comes walking in, and I gag. Everybody gag. And the way that Viserys like, I will sit the Iron Throne today, and Otto got his dumb ass right the fuck up. Otto got his dumb ass right the fuck up. So I love this moment where Viserys refuses help from his guard, right? But then he drops his crown, and who's there to pick it up? Daemon. Daemon's there to pick it up and help him sit down in the Iron Throne. It was just, it was such a beautiful moment, especially after them having spent so many years away from each other, so many years, like, it was just so, it was a great moment. So Viserys tells everyone to shut the fuck up. He's just like, I don't know why I'm here in the first place, because y'all already know what the fuck I'm gonna say. Alicent is pissed. Look at her fucking face. Alicent is fucking pissed. He calls Rhaenys up, which I gagged. Because I thought, when I heard that Princess R, I thought he was going to say Princess Rhaenyra. Bitch, he called Rhaenys up. Well, actually, no, I didn't, because of the sentence that he said, almost like, there's somebody who knows exactly what Corlys would have wanted, and that's Rhaenys. So I wasn't that gagged, but it's just like interesting that he called Rhaenys up. And of course, Rhaenys, remembering the offer that Rhaenyra just gave her, she references that and says, yeah, no, it's okay. You can pass this fucking throne on to these bastards as long as the deal is made and these people are betrothed, and that's it. And my girls are betrothed, and that's it, baby. That's it. So even Sir Otto, you can see here, was completely gagged. Just completely gagged. And it's great because they really thought they had that shit in the bag. And it really was never given that. Now Vaemond comes back out screaming bastards and shit, and she's a whore. The princess is a whore. Look at Daemon getting his life. No, not Daemon. Aemon getting his life. You know. So as soon as honestly, as soon as I seen a black person screaming in the fucking Red Keep at the king, I was like, yeah, you're dead right there. No shade, but it's just like, girl, they barely want to put our black asses in this goddamn show, bitch. You think you're gonna scream at Viserys and get away with it, bitch? They said, get your black ass out of here, bitch. Daemon chopped that ass up. Chop that ass up. Keep the tongue. And then Sir Otto was, disarm him. No need. No, it's all right, baby. He stepped away. Like, what's that? It's fine. But see, even as Aemond was smiling at Rhaenyra being called a whore by Vaemond, Aemond kind of got his life a little bit that Daemon would just kill Vaemond over here. So it's definitely building up to what we all know is about to happen, especially if you know the books or you know the lore in general. It's building up to what we all know is about to happen. So I love this shot of the both of them being concerned for Viserys here. It was just cool how they focused first on Alicent and then on Rhaenyra, and how they're both like almost stuck in the same kinds of places because of the patriarchy. Child, don't let me get started. So Vaemond is dead, and you see Rhaenys over here looking and just pondering, like she's really playing the game now. If she hasn't been playing the Game of Thrones before, like she's really playing the game now, and her actions I don't want to say it led to it specifically, but it definitely did not help prevent Vaemond's death, you know. So I just love what she says about the stranger here as well. Also this iconic shot here that will live down in history of Rhaenyra and Alicent sitting across from each other at the table. Viserys is over here trying to bring the family together with this fucking dinner. He essentially says, like, y'all stress me the hell out, and that's fine, but I love y'all so much, and like I'm about to die. My own face is no longer handsome, and I guess what he said, right? And if it ever was. But tonight I wish for you to see me as I am. He takes off his mask, not just as your king, but as your family, essentially, as your father, as your husband, as your grandsire. He takes off his mask, and we can see that his eye is completely missing. Like, Viserys about to die. Viserys about to die. Right? So then comes these goddamn toasts. So Rhaenyra raises her glass to the queen. And essentially, the toast is like, sis, we are both victims of this patriarchy, and I see you. And like, we're both, at this point, we're so fucked up. We've been so fucked up by this. Like, and she apologizes, right? Alicent is actually moved by this legitimately, it seems. And she said, we are both mothers and we both love our children. She raises her cup to Rhaenyra. So it's like these things kind of seem to be, even though Aegon is such a fucking ass, he was an asshole the whole time to Jace. But Jace ended up owning him as with a toast, right? Because he toasted Aemond and Aegon. So, and it was cute. It was cute. But Aegon is such an asshole. Helena makes the toast after she says some, creepy prophetic shit. And she said, I would like to toast to Baela and Rhaena. Aegon, essentially she's saying Aegon mostly ignores you, except sometimes when he's drunk. I think that's what she's implying, right? And of course they laughed, which is so crazy. Imagine being subjected to that, and people around you, people who are supposed to be supporting you and protecting you, are laughing at that. That's not a good thing to be happening. Oh, he mostly ignores you, except sometimes when he's drunk. Like, okay, that's terrible. Of course, Jace does this thing where he dances with their sister, as, of course, I think like he's a gentleman, he's trying to comfort her, but also it's an own to Aegon and Aemon. Of course, it's like he's trying to own them. And so Viserys is sitting back here, really thought after all this that he really did something, and it's just like, baby, I don't know how to tell you this, and you don't need to know it. It's fine. Just pass on. Just walk on to the afterlife. I don't know where do the dragons go after fucking afterlife? It don't matter. Wherever y'all go, just go there, because Viserys, it's all right, baby. It's okay. Just check out. Time out. It's okay. You really tried your best, honey, and it wasn't enough, but it definitely was your best. I really do love how people are blocking our review of him in some of these shots, because it's just like, it just accentuates how he's fading. Aemond ends up toasting to the Strong Boys right as they were about to be. Okay, so when this pig came out, I thought it was funny. So the fact that Jace was out here like laughing, I almost thought they were going to kind of reconnect, or not reconnect, child. Were never connected. But I thought they were going to make amends. There we go. You know, and I think it could have happened. It really could have happened. But Aemond escalates the shit. Calls them Strong Boys. It was hilarious. I mean, I'm sorry. You're wise, you smart, you kind, you important. You're wise, they're noble and strong. Like, it was great. It was great. I'm sorry, it was hilarious. It was terrible, but it was great. So it escalates, and Daemon interrupts the shit like, what's up? So obviously they are teasing this shit. They're teasing what's about to come. They're teasing. I mean, maybe, obviously, not maybe, but definitely later on in the show, maybe a couple of seasons down, but it's coming. It's coming. This fight between them is coming. So here we get to see that Rhaenyra says, Alicent, I'm gonna come back. That's what she says. Like, I'll come back. It seems they're reconnecting here, and Alicent does not want her to leave so soon before they could really talk about stuff and get some shit situated. But Rhaenyra was like, "Yo, I gotta get my kids home. I gotta bring my kids back from practice, pick my kids up from school. But I'll come back on my dragon." That's what she says. And if I am not mistaken, I think that I think that there's one particular story about Rhaenyra and Alicent's kid where her coming back. I don't know if it's too early in the timeline to think about that story, but I think if Alicent's gonna be riding, or no, not Alicent, Rhaenyra's gonna be riding around on a dragon with one of these kids, I think it would make a lot of sense for that story to happen then. So I don't know. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Either way, Alicent is just really open to this idea. Mysaria got a spy in the castle, and of course she got a spy in the fucking castle. I knew that if you were gonna, Alicent, you're gonna kill this woman or this girl who was subjected to Aegon's weird shit, disgusting shit, but you did not take care of the person who brought you the news. That's like Game of Thrones 101, right? Viserys is over here thinking that he's talking to Rhaenyra, and this shit is actually terrible. I mean, I think this is what sets off, this really solidifies the sides for real. Because Viserys thinks that he's talking to Rhaenyra. Because remember, Rhaenyra had asked Viserys before about this prophecy. Like, do you really think that it's true? And he's like, yo, it's true. The only thing Alicent hears is Aegon, which, I mean, she thinks is her son, but obviously Viserys is talking about Aegon the fucking Conqueror. So all Alicent hears is Aegon, prince that was promised, unite the kingdom, threat from the north. That's all Alicent is fucking hearing right now. That's all she's hearing, right? And it's just like, she's like, okay, he's saying to me that even though we had this dinner, we're reconciling and all this shit, it's dependent on the survival of the realm. Like, you have to make sure that Aegon ascends the throne. That's what she hears. But Viserys was not talking about that shit. Viserys was not talking about that. And Alicent hears that and eats it up. Prince who was promised, unite the realm. Oh yeah, she gonna eat that shit up. And this shit here, it was so interesting that this looked like a harpy mask. And I know that some people have probably already said this, but like, I really found it so interesting that it looks like a sons of the harpy kind of mask here. But this is where Viserys says no more. He's tired. It's done, and he dies. And it's like at the end of it, he's almost like saying like, "What's up, Emma? Like, my love, like." It was just a beautiful, well done, well written, characters doing what they need to do. Just a perfect episode to say. It was just, this season was a great prologue to what the destruction and violence and devastation that we're about to see coming up in the next few seasons. But I can't wait, y'all. This was everything. It was everything. Just, I mean, even down to the fucking music, the cinematography, it was no drag. We didn't even see one dragon in this episode. And I still got I think it was the best one ever. Like, it was just so well done. And see, you can't get to this point without building it up in a way that makes sense. You know, and I think they did that. As annoying as the time jumps were, you know, there are definitely things that could have been done better, but you already know, like, there's so much that they had to cover, especially we're talking about making books for a TV show, you got to get the girls up, right? But I just think they did very well. Hopefully they can slow down the pace in the next few episodes and the next seasons, right? And just tell the story. And I think that's what they plan on doing. But this works really well for me. It gave me everything I needed. Oh my God. Let me know what y'all think. Love y'all so much. And I'll catch y'all later.